All right, welcome everybody to the first race, IndyCar race here, Lockdown Gear Ratios on the oval this week at Lanes Raceway in the Fall Series. We can see the current lineup here: Glenn Burden on red, Jackson Darty on white, Zach on green, Randy on orange, Robert on blue, Nathaniel on yellow, and Gunner on purple. You know the deal here. Looks like I didn't clear it out from the previous race before, but we got strikes. 3 strikes are out. That's how it goes. And almost a full pack here. Now, these guys raced the preliminary of this last week for no points. This week, points will count. Everybody's past tech. We're ready to go. Racers, are you ready? Watch your lights. 4 red lights dropping out to green. We're starting this thing off. Music brought to you by Epidemic Sound. Glad you guys have tuned in for this race. It looks like we got my little light set up going over here in the upper left-hand portion of your screen, and overheated earlier. If you like what you see, you like slot car racing, definitely stick very close to Lanes Raceway. We're making a lot of moves in the slot car community, and we're planning on even making more in the future. We're fixing to move into a new facility, so if you like slot car racing and you like seeing guys go fast and big events and big banquets and big money, hang out with Lanes Raceway, because we're going places. Like, subscribe, share to all your friends and family, as that does help us out here. But like I always tell everybody, these live streams are made for our racers first and foremost, for them to get even better at racing. And I can tell a big difference in these guys from day one to what they're doing now. Day one, we probably wouldn't even have made it a lap in these cars, but you can see they're humming and holding down the mail. Gunnar Vinder out in the lead, 33 laps down on purple. Nathaniel Burden in second, 34, and Randy Kirtley in third, 33. These guys are humming. Side-by-side action here. Looks like we'll see a little bit of a leeway off there on purple lane for Gunner as he gets a guy coming up on his outside there. Nathaniel Burden wanting to make the pass, but he's biding his own time as he goes on the inside of the blue lane of Robert LaFoon, and he's able to make the pass. Robert lifting a little bit. We see the orange lane of Randy Kirtley making a pass there also on the green car of Zach. Very, very fast racing here. 33 seconds left to go in the heat. Not a single wreck so far. Let's see if they can make it all heat. Give them a little cheer out there, and maybe they can make it all the way. 4 wide going into Dead Man's Corner. All of them making it out there perfectly fine and quick. Fastest lap time right now, 1.510, and that's ran by Nathaniel Burden there on yellow lane. See dives bomb down low on the inside of the blue car. Robert LaFoon making a pass. Robert LaFoon and Zach both with brand new cars, so it's going to take a little bit for their cars to break in. So they might actually run this whole race before the motor breaks in. We all know how the Hawk 7s are. Nonetheless, everybody else running Eagles, I believe, and I think that's a smart and wise thing to do. First time in a long time have we seen everybody run a full heat without one wreck. This is going to be a quick one if we continue this on. Gunnar Vinder in the lead, tied with Nathaniel Burden, 76 total laps. Randy Kirtley there in third position with 70. Right there behind him, Glenn Burden, 65. Robert LaFoon, 65, tied up there in the mid lanes. And in the upper lanes, we got Zach with 63, or Jackson with 63, and Zach with 60. So it's going to be some really quick racing, especially when we start seeing these rotations roll around. Everybody trying to cool their motors off and everything underneath the air conditioner here. We can see Glenn Burden there putting his card in there to mark his card so he can get some oil on that car. But as you can see, the IndyCar very, very fast and very, very furious on the oval, just like real life on the Brickyard. Nonetheless, next week they'll test their merit on the orange. Now, they are allowed to change the tire to any 332nd size fish rubber tire that they would like, but the gear ratio is locked down. The motor's not necessarily locked down. You run Hawk 7 or Eagle. Eagle seems to be a little bit more reliable. I've seen some Hawk 7s be faster. Jay Latham's be one that had one that was just a scorcher. We also seen Garrett Burden last year whenever he was running in the Indy Series with a very fast Hawk 7. But for the majority, most people opting out to run the Eagle motor. Nonetheless, minute and 6 seconds. We'll be right back with you. All right, we're back racing now. Round robin 2. 4 red lights dropping out to a green. Anything to be expected from the first heat? Oh, doesn't look like it. So we get our first wreck here. Purple and white going to take strikes. Last heat, flawless. First time in a long time we've seen that. See if we can reel in from that and make another perfect heat. Nice pass there on upper side on orange. Nathaniel Burton making a pass from Zach there. Black down low there. That's Gunnar Bender, your current leader. He made a nice clean pass on purple. IndyCar on the oval this year looks to be very, very tight, inbound, close racing here. But I've seen before the winners come and prevail on the orange track. So we'll see how well things go on the orange track where you have to blip on red, white, and green. Let that sink in. Red, white, and green where the dip is in the track is a rough situation for these cars. A lot of these guys opting for the high downforce, maybe swap back to the low downforce to be able to maybe skip across the dip and risk it for the biscuit. But I'll tell you right now, if they don't, they may have some really good handling through the donut portion and S portion and horseshoe. But when they get on that backstretch, they might go flying like the Mercedes of old back in the 90s, flipping down to the, I think it was, it was either Le Mans, I can't remember the exact track. Y'all remember the 1990 CLK silver Mercedes that was going wide open on a stretch, come off the hill and flip. Anyways, that's what I'm thinking about. You look it up. You'll find it on YouTube. Nonetheless, these guys running impeccably now with 26 seconds left to go. Best lap time right now on black, 1.472. Just now turned that last lap of 1.472. Very, very quick. Robert LaFoon there, of course, you can see not even in contention right now with a new car. 1.706. That motor needs to be broke in. It's he's about 3/10 down. It's going to be tough for the Hawk 7 to even catch that car, as we have seen Gunnar race this car last week in the preliminary, already got his broke in. Got a heat over, only one wreck that heat. Exceptional. Go ahead and clear those out. As we head over here to the track, mate, we can see Gunnar Bender, 154. He's starting to leap out there a little bit more. 76, 78, he's run both of his down low lanes. Nathaniel Burton, though, with a fast car there on yellow, already running 76, so we'll see if he can increase that down on purple and black with them coming out. Randy Coulter there in third. His car down a little bit, it looks like, on power. Only turning 70 laps there on orange. Glenn Burton there, 70 on green. Looks to be setting his car up to be quite quick, too. 70 there on green right now, 10 laps higher than Zach on green. But like I said, Zach and Robert, you really can't count these guys to be contentious in contention here right now, because their motors still need a lot of break-in. So they're just here racing, getting a car broke in, having a good time with the rest of the guys. Minute and 40 seconds, we'll be back racing with you. If you like what you see, like, share, subscribe. Thank you.
I'm the realest from my city, that's on Molly, that's on Kiwi, that's on Mamas. Don't believe me, come and see me, I been dodging all the face. All these working broke, but I been getting paid. All that know me from the street, flexing for what feature, that's like every other week. Talk behind my back, I kick my feet up, have a seat, cause at the end of the day, all these watching me as I walk up in this light. Yeah, I'm really him. Talking my shit like I'm really him, oh God. Walk up in this light. Yeah, I'm really him. Talking my shit like I'm really him, oh God. Walk up in this light. Yeah, I'm really him. Talking my shit like I'm really him, hold up. walking this like, hey, yeah, I'm really him. Talking my shit like, hey, I'm really him. Walk up in this bitch like, yeah, I'm really him. Talking my shit like, bitch, I'm really him. Hold up. Look, walking this bitch like, hey. Yeah,
All right, breaks over. Racers are lined up, ready to go. 4 red lights are dropping out to green. Here we go, folks.
Don't believe me, come and see me. Got 3 wishes for my genie. Now I'm on your local TV. Yellow dog got you screaming. Say she wanted come and see me.
Gunner Bender right now in the lead, still 1.641 there on Purple Lane. Very comparable to some of the blue lane stuff. If you get a hard hit to the high outside, 2 cars involved in an incident.
Talking my shit like, bitch, I'm really him on God. Walking this bitch like,
What do we have?
yeah, I'm
Here?
really
We
him.
got
Talking my
purple
shit like,
and purple and yellow with strikes. Lakers colors. Purple and yellow with strikes. I was passed to see if Jackson is need to look at orange and white. Close. 1.815. So he looks to be down a little bit on speed. So it's probably time for a motor transplant. He should be faster than White Lane. He's only running a 1.815, and White Lane, Nathaniel's running 1.729 for his best. So down on power. Not a big deal, though. He's running this IndyCar for a full series. So I think it's just about time for a motor swap, and that should set him up pretty good. See Gunnar Bender there about 7 laps ahead of Nathaniel Burton. And Nathaniel Burton pushing the subject. Nathaniel Burton has a very fast IndyCar, as we can see. As he goes to make a pass on red lane. Oh, getting involved a little bit there with Randy Kirtley in the red, white, and blue car. Randy Kirtley backing it up just a little bit, running his own, just going to kind of push the subject. Glenn Burton there in 3rd position, right barely in front of Randy Kirtley. But Glenn Burton there on blue lane running 1.594. That's the 2nd best lap time out there right now. Gunnar Bender right now down low running a 1.572. Blue lane going to receive a strike here. If I can get my fingers right. There we go. What's going on? Braids up. Braids up, folks. A little bit of a red flag condition. Glenn Burton's going to grab the roller here. He's going to roll blue a little bit as it came up a little bit. Oh, sweet mercy. Man. They could have been a little bit quick. Did you see them just walking over there to put that fire out? Shoo. I'd be pretty hot if I was him. 4 red lights dropping out to green. I'm commenting on a flow racing that's going on. A guy was in a wreck, and like the fire suppression people look like they were walking over to put it out, and this dude's in there and fire's covering his head, and they're just taking a Sunday stroll. Nonetheless, they got the fire put out. Probably melted the Lexan on his glass, though. 29 seconds left to go in the heat. Gunnar Bender out in the lead by about 10 laps currently. Glenn Burton there in 3rd position, pushing the subject. He's down by about 10 laps to Nathaniel Burton. Still got a lot of racing left to go, and these separations of where they're located on the track means a lot right now as we're early on. We'll start seeing a little bit better figures of what's to happen here in about a couple laps. So these guys are running these cars impeccable. This is going to be one of those races. If you wreck out, you've lost. It's that simple. So we'll go ahead and clear these strikes here. It's boiling down to this. If you wreck, just have a regular wreck, it's becoming very, very detrimental. So heading over here to the track, mate, we can see Gunnar Bender out in the lead, 228 laps. Nathaniel Burton, 218. Glenn Burton, 208. Randy Kirtley, 204. 203 for Robert LaFoon. 191 for Jackson, and 190 for Zach. head over to the oval screen here and let you watch them work. We'll be right back with you here in just a few minutes.
Just picked up some bands, come again. They do what I do, I'm like Simon says. Yeah, I'm the running man, rapping rubber bands. They do what I do, I'm like Simon says. They do what I do, I'm like Simon says. Swerving, making plays, Ferrari red. Never out my zone, touchdown in my hands. Only fam around me, I can't have no friends. Had to cut you off, you left me out for dead. Ever since I was a teen, prices on my head. Had to cut you off, you left me out for dead. They do what I do, I'm like Simon says. Just picked up some bands, come again. They do what I do, I'm like Simon says. Yeah, I'm the running man, rapping rubber bands. They do what I do, I'm like Simon says. Just picked up some bands, come again. They do what I do, I'm like Simon says. Yeah, I'm the running man, rapping rubber bands. They do what I do, I'm like Simon says. Yeah, ballpoint on the beat, ballpoint make them dance. Yeah, we came up from nothing, now we're making plans. Yeah, just picked up some bands, Tell her ask it questions when I'm coming wide. On the run like a runaway. Only way is the money way. New chain, no jewelry. No games, no fooling me. 21 been a boss. Play the game, pay the cost. Heard you roll a TikTok. Niggas get another watch. Just picked up some bands, come again. They do what I do, I'm like Simon says. Yeah, I'm the running man, rapping.
All right, folks, here we go. 4 red lights dropping out to green, and we're halfway through already. These guys have run an impeccable IndyCar race here on the oval. Hardly any wrecks so far. Gunnar Bender has been walking away with it. He's now 11 laps ahead. Nathaniel Burden there in second, 224. Glenn Burden, 217. Third position. Randy Kirtley, 214. Robert LaFoon, 214. Jackson Darty, 203. And Zach, 203. You see here coming around the dead man's corner just how fast these cars are actually going and hooking up. They're running fish rubber, mostly carbon hubs from Mid-America, but some of them opting to use the stock JKs. Either way you look at it, they're all running natural rubber and just flat hooking coming around the corners there. Usually we see a lot of incidents there, but it looks like these back ends are hooking up so good that they don't have very many issues. We've even batted around the idea before about having a full body 4.5-inch sprint car built from this exact chassis. Now, of course, that would be a hyper fast sprint car. And then Mid-America, of course, a hard hit coming up to the high things. Mid-America coming out with their sprint cars kind of changed their mind. Now, Orange going to take a strike here. 49 seconds left to go.
I was sipping more for 2 years straight to the face. Champagne belly bubble still won't go away. Last year my best man hit a stain with bare face. Now he's got a hell beyond the water's cold case. I wake up with pace of time and never go.
All right, we still have 49 seconds left to go. My wife's finger's really dirty. So you hit the button there, we're rocking and rolling. 4 red lights dropping out to green. Raceway Sports has pinball here. Anytime you guys want to come in and get involved in some pinball tournaments here, we have those all month long. And we also have pinball competitions where we play pinball golf and different kinds of varieties of games for that. And that's its own kind of category of competition. Of course, we've talked about that before here at Lanes Raceway. We're also going to be getting some new machines to move into our new place. A couple new other activities going to be done down at Lanes Raceway that we haven't done here at Lanes 1. I guess we're just going to start calling it Lanes 2 maybe. 21 seconds left to go in the heat. 4 of 8. Best lap right now is a 1.561 by Glenn Burden down on purple. As he's turned 68 laps, gained 4 laps up on the current leader here. These guys are racing exceptional. They really want to go to eat after this. And there's a red flag rotation. We're going to go over here and check the track mate. We'll take a look at Glenn Burden there. Glenn Burden turning 76, matching the lead there on purple lane. So he's definitely going to be about to have to deal with for sure. Nathaniel Burden, though, man, he's been hot all afternoon, bringing in the heat. So the Burden family really feeling good, representing for them top 3 positions. Randy Kirtley there, 70s, about 3 laps down off of the main pace there, with Nathaniel Burden being the leader of that. Nathaniel Burden poised to probably bring this one home if he continues the trend. Now Robert LaFoon there just now starting to get that motor somewhat broke in. 71 laps, him and Zach both there on black lane. The motor could be faster for sure. Probably likes a little bit more to half cone those brushes. Jackson Darty there, his car pretty much out of contention. Very, very slow, a couple tenths off, even worse than Zach's and Robert's car. But he's going to get him a motor transplant here soon, so that should help him quite a bit. Now, guys, if you like what you see, join us coming up next. We're going to have L&P coming up on orange. It's our only orange. There's Ashton behind us. You know Ashton from the late model series previously raced, and Gerald also. They're getting a pulling truck set up. So we've been doing pulling trucks, 929 gear ratio GRCs with Lexan truck bodies or hard bodies, it doesn't matter. But we've been pulling those every week on Friday. On Saturday we have our drag races, so come on down with us. If it's not scheduled, it says Racer's Choice, we always have it. If we get people to come in and do it, we do it. Pretty much we put that Racer's Choice there for the benefit of the racer. If they want to do something different, or if we can find enough people to do a certain type of race, we let that be Racer's Choice. Like what you see here, though, come on down, join in on the fun. We got a lot of memberships you can join up to. You can even just come in and have a good time and just rent some track time. Bring the family, bring the friends. You can eat in here, bring whatever food you want. We got a special thing going on with Subway even, where that you can get 10% off Subway if you buy something here, whether it be a drink or whatever. You can take that receipt down to Subway and get you 10% off. We also stock a variety, and I mean a huge variety, of classic type drinks and just crazy weird drinks. Like we got one in there that's like tastes like Tootsie Rolls, so exciting for the kids for sure. We got cotton candy, we got ices. We got a lot of stuff going on. 4 red lights dropping out to green. We're back underway as Glenn Burden runs around there to grab his car. He's one of the front runners. Him and Nathaniel Burden, the Burden boys, got these Indy cars figured out. Now, Glenn Burden, of course, was our Purple Crown winner from the last year's 4 Crowns, and that was the IndyCar series. So, Glenn Burden knows his way around the IndyCar. He can really make a fast one, as he brought home the gold last year. We'll see if he can continue that trend, or at least pass it on to his son. Glenn Burden now moving into second position. He's got his eyes set on Gunnar Bender right now. Gunnar Bender up on white lane, about right at 12 or 13 laps down from Glenn Burden. So Glenn Burden going to get a real good opportunity here to turn some real good laps there on black and try to reel in Gunnar off of that white lane. Now, as we can see, Randy Kirtley here down a little bit on power. Robert LaFoon, Jackson, and Zach, all these guys, the bottom 4 down on power. Randy and Jackson just got old motors. Robert and Zach breaking their motors in. Looks like Roberts is breaking in a smidge faster than Zach's. But this is why you'll see me a lot of the times as we see a car flying completely off over to one of the pit stalls. You'll see me a lot of times just go ahead and push Mid-America's Eagle motor over the Hawk 7 because there is no break-in time. As you throw that baby on there, she's ready to go. I thought I seen 2 cars go flying. Okay, well, might have just been one. And a full minute in before our first incident there. We'll get a strike put out there on the strike board and we'll continue on. So that's going to be a strike on yellow. Here we go, folks. 4 red lights dropping out to green. This might go down in history as the fastest race we've ever ran. A lot of side-by-side action there between blue and orange. Now orange and green. Nathaniel, Randy, and Robert, all of them just battling back and forth there towards the middle lanes. But the man of the hour right now, currently, Glenn Burden down low, 1.508 in his car. He's starting to catch Gunner in an exponential rate here. 8 laps so far made this heat as we see a car get hit here. 2 cars involved in this. Black and purple. Black and purple taking strikes here. I didn't get to see exactly what happened there, but as fast as Glenn is rolling, he can pop up out of nowhere for sure. 1.502. He's a good 1/10 of a second faster than everybody on the board and a good 2/10 faster than our current leader. So right now he's turned 60 laps to the second highest with a 56 from Jackson and Randy. So those are big gains down on Black, and we might actually see him turn the most laps on Black here. So far, 65 total laps. 17 seconds left to go in the heat, and he is humming, folks. With a yellow flag, and the car comes off. That's going to be for Green Lane, going to take a strike. And this heat alone has seen the most strikes so far with 4 this heat out of all the races. Who would have thought it would be IndyCar on the oval, the cleanest race? Side-by-side action there between Jackson and Glenn, trying to give each other room. They ended up figuring it out. Now Glenn Burden out in the lead, turning 77 scorching laps there on Black. If he didn't rank out one time, he would have definitely got the 78. So we head over here to TrackMate. We can see that Gunnar Vinder, 367. Is a battle right now between Gunner and Glenn. Glenn Burden and Gunner neck and neck, side by side. Nathaniel Burden there in 3rd position still got his lower lanes to run, and I'll tell you, Nathaniel Burden, so far I haven't seen anyone on his laps. So right now I would say your leader's probably Nathaniel Burden currently. Who's this for? I don't want that. I don't drink caffeine or sugar-free stuff. So Randy Kirtley there in 4th position, 346, 336 Robert LaFoon, 332 Jackson Darty, 326 Zachary. All right, minute and 40 seconds to go. We're going to go ahead and clear this out before we go into the next heat. Right now, 6 of 8 round robin. See you in a minute and 30. All right, folks, here we go. 4 red lights, dropping out to green. 6 of 8. We're 2/3 of the way through this race already. Very, very quick race indeed. Randy Kirtley down low on purple, side by side with Nathaniel Burden, the one that I think might bring this baby home, as we see an attempt to put that car back on. What an attempt it was. Just narrowly slipped out of his hands. Brian Bender, though, very quick reflexes, even be able to touch the car, let alone put it on there. So Brian Bender going to receive a strike there. Also known as Gunner. If I can get my mouse to work here. There we go. Like I said, Brian been running an impeccable race this race weekend too. It's a battle between these three here, and it's all going to boil down to who is going to finish on the low lane. As we can see, Glenn Burden now increasing that factor. 2 cars go off. Brian Bender takes a shot in the kidney. I don't know if he's going to survive. Brian, are you okay? So it looks like Brian and Zach going to take a strike there. What a rocket ship. That baby come up all the way from the bottom. Just about 30 seconds in, and we've already got 3 strikes, folks. So this is probably the worst heat so far that we've had to deal with. But nonetheless, exceptional racing from these guys. As they take a quick look in the pits here, we got a little bit of a red flag condition, I guess you would say, from all the craziness taking place here recently. Of course, Brian, he's already been under the spotlight twice so far in this heat alone, snagging his car, about getting it back in, narrowly missing it because these things are slippery for sure, very low profile cars. And then immediately after, maybe 2 laps or so, getting involved in that huge incident with Zach where he takes a kidney shot with his own car. So it's almost looking like his car is out to get him. All right, looks like everybody's got their cars in order now. The Diet Dr. Peppers have been bought by Glenn Burden. It's on. You see Glenn Burden get the Diet Dr. Peppers out, you better look out. This guy's going for the win. Minute and 34 seconds left in the heat. What are we waiting on, folks? Jackson, as usual. Okay. So Jackson, he skipped a dirty song for us, so we'll let it slide. Dirty songs pop up every once in a while here in Lanes Raceway. Use Spotify Premium, and every once in a while it sends out a dirty song, which really irritates us here. We don't like to listen to filthy, nasty songs here, so Jackson took over and swapped that song for us, so we appreciate that. Minute 23 seconds left to go. We see Jackson coming up a notch there, taking over Robert LaFoon there as Robert's up on white lane. And we see Glenn Burden now taking over first position there on yellow lane. 391 total laps right now with a minute and 11 seconds left to go. Best lap of 1.592. We're seeing a lot of 1.5s coming out of Glenn Burden. We also see Nathaniel Burden here. He's cranking out some big laps here too. Before the end of this heat, we're probably going to see a swap between Nathaniel Burden and Gunner, also known as Brian here, with 53 seconds left to go. Glenn and Nathaniel neck and neck, side by side. Nathaniel actually turning a little bit better of a lap time up on Blue, and he's actually on a higher lane, but he's able to carry a lot more speed through Dead Man's Corner. His best lap time, a 1.545, netting his median down to a 1.6, now a 1.61, tied up with Glenn Burden. Quick hands by Brian as he gets that car that time on red. He didn't slip by that time. And we see Blue Lane receiving a strike. Yes. Blue Lane going to take a strike there, and we're going to see Brian take a quick look at his car. He will not receive a strike. He's just going to look at his car here real quick and make sure that the body's down. I mean, you got to be quick when you're on red lane. Everybody gets the opportunity to slap the car back in on red lane. It's legal. But sometimes, you know, a heavy hand to stop these slick mobiles. Full red lights dropping out to green. 26 seconds left to go in this round robin 6-8. It's been brutal, folks. We're up to 4 strikes. tied with the most strikes of this race. So we see one more. It's definitely the worst heat. But it started off really horrible right out of the gate, especially for Brian, as Brian kicks down into third position here, giving way to Nathaniel Burden in second. The Burden Burden family, Glenn and Nathaniel Burden, first and second right now, holding it down. And we get a red flag rotation. Glenn Burden's going to be in first place by 6 laps compared to his son, but his son was able to capitalize on the speed of Blue Lane there. Let's head over here to the track mate and just see how well Nathaniel did on Blue Lane. Right now, Nathaniel Burden in the lead with the most laps turned on Blue Lane, 74 total laps. Glenn Burden there, 77 and 76 laps there on Black Lane as he rose up to 75 laps on Yellow Lane. So very, very close race between the Burdens. Don't count out Gunner just yet, also known as Brian, as he's right there with him. But Nathaniel Burden, he seems to be getting about a lap on everybody on every single heat here. Not really anybody's messed with him so far. I don't think he's lost to anybody so far. So, like I said, my money right now is on Nathaniel unless something catastrophic happens. He is definitely holding it down. Minute and 40 seconds. We'll be right back with you. All right, 5 seconds. Excuse me, folks. Whew. 5 seconds before we start. 4 red lights dropping out to green. We got some cars really crooked up there on the high banks there. Everybody's been running a really good race. Side by side, white and red here. Zach and Robert. Who's going to give way to who? Are they just going to run there side by side? 3 wide. Green coming up on there on the inside. Gunnar Bender with the high downforce body really ripping. Gunnar Bender now on green lane, just 1 lane or 2 above Glenn Burden. Nathaniel Burden down on purple now. He's going to be making a push against Glenn. We're probably going to see him take Glenn this heat as he's already got 2 laps on Glenn. He's got a hard hit coming down the backstretch. Several cars involved. Whew. Another bad one? Skip it. I don't know what playlist my wife has got on here, but Jackson knows the popular music and he knows what's good and what's bad, so I'm constantly having him skip it. Needless to say, this playlist will never be played again here at Lanes Raceway. White Lane also going to receive a strike there. Robert and Zach, they battled it out for too long, side by side. Something had to give. Four red lights are dropping out to green. Here we go, folks. And this latest stream from the last one swapped over 1080p to 60 frames. instead of 30 to try to get it a little bit smoother for some of the faster cars. I think I got maybe one of the settings messed up a little bit. One of them set at 30 frames and the other one set at 60. I don't know what I've done, but it seems like it's coming through pretty good. We haven't dropped any frames, so that's pretty good. It's always a learning experience trying to figure out these things and get it the best that you can with the current updates, because man, here comes a car over here on me in the chair. It's definitely going to be a strike on green as I'm holding her car. So Gunner going to take a strike there, his first. I don't know if there's anybody else involved in that or not, but that was a wild wreck. That baby took off flying. These things are little razor blades in the sky. Glenn Burden in the lead right now, 480 laps. His best lap of 1.7. Nathaniel Burden down on purple, though, turning 4 more laps than Glenn at a 1.553. They're 2 laps separated. 4 red lights dropping out to green. Here we go, folks. As we get a change, Randy Kirtley now taking over 3rd position down there on black, turning 63 laps, tied up with Nathaniel Burden. Was able to put Gunner there in 4th position as Gunner goes towards the high side of the track. And that's a red flag rotation, folks. Nathaniel Burden now your leader. As we head over here to the strikes, we're going to clear these babies out. Track mate here. Nathaniel Burden averaging 72.4 laps. Glenn Burden right there behind him averaging 72.3 as we roll into the last heat here. And it's going to be a close one, but I believe Nathaniel's going to be able to edge it out just a little because Glenn's going to the high white side and Nathaniel's going all the way to the bottom. So it'll be interesting to see if Nathaniel can beat the 78 lap record currently set by Gunner on black. If not, we're going to see Gunner take home the privilege of having the most laps turned this season in the IndyCar Series. But 507, 506, 498, 493, 478 to round up your top 5. 1 minute and 44 seconds. We'll be right back with you.
Why don't we go figure it? Yeah. Out on our own. Yeah, I know what we said. I still think we should figure it. Yeah. Out on our own. I just hope that we'll be okay. It's so difficult to see. Whatever happens is meant to be. Keep on trying to when you know what we shouldn't do. Even though that I want ya, why don't we go figure it? Yeah. Out on our own. Yeah, I know what we said. I still think we should figure it. Yeah. Out on our own. I just hope that we'll be okay.
All right, folks, coming into the final heat, and we're going to take a small break before we get our 72 pitch underway. Nathaniel Burden in the lead, followed by Glenn Burden. Randy Kirtley there in 3rd position. 1 minute, 53 seconds. Who's going to bring it home? Ooh, and the car comes off. Looks like he got a piece of actions killed. Yellow lane. I'm going to take a strike here. Your third position. So these cars are building up quite a bit of heat out there running that long. Oh, we got green lane and white lane also. I didn't even see that. Wow. Pretty much that probably solidifies Nathaniel Burden as your winner here, because he didn't get involved in that wreck. Now your top three, or the other two in the top three did, so they can still battle it out. Gunnar Vendor right now 26 laps. He's got a chance at maybe catching Randy if things like that prevail. He's already gained 2 laps so far this heat. He can gain 2 more before the end of this race. He'll be able to pass Randy. We'll see if that takes place. With 1 minute and 6 seconds left to go, very, very close racing here. Randy and Gunnar side by side, neck by neck as we get a big wreck. Oh my, coming out of Dead Man's Corner. Several. So white, red, blue. Okay, thank you, Glenn. White, red, and blue getting strikes. That's white second. Red and blue's first. So far, this is the worst heat we've had strike-wise. With 6 total strikes. Everybody pushing it right here towards the 41 seconds left to go. Nathaniel Burden, your leader by 10 laps. Glenn Burden right there behind him. Randy Kirtley, 3 laps difference between him and Glenn. Is it possible for Randy to take a second position here? 26 seconds left to go. Only a couple laps difference between him and Gunnar, too. Glenn Burden fighting for everything he's got to defend this off. 1 lap separates these two now. As we roll with 14 seconds left to go, it's going to come down to the wire here between these two. And a hard hit out to the outside wall. What we got here? Yellow and black. Yellow, black, and white. So that will be 3 for white, 2 for yellow. See Randy Carter there taking over second position, and Gunnar right there at the end. Man, bad luck for Glenn as he caught that wreck from all the way from the bottom, got him, dropped him from second to fourth that quick. That's what this race was, folks. Literally, like I said, it could boil down to literally 1 wreck. So 367, 368, 369, 583. That's how close it was. Nathaniel Burden was on fire here, folks. Red lane, nobody could touch him. White lane, nobody could touch him. Green lane, nobody could touch him. Orange lane, nobody could touch him. Blue lane, nobody could touch him. Yellow lane, nobody could touch him. Purple lane, nobody could touch him. And black lane, he got beat. So he got beat in 1 lane out of all of them where he could have upset it, the whole thing. Gunnar Vendor, also known as Brian, turned the most laps turned at 78 there on black lane. Randy Kirtley coming back from what I thought was a burn-up car. was able to perform there towards the end and get a second position. The big upset of the day, though, would have to definitely be Glenn Burden there. Of course, taking that hit right there at the end with 6 seconds left to go, and we're talking 1.5 seconds per lap. That dropped him from second all the way to fourth. But these things, they happen, folks. And I hate to see it happen to Glenn, especially in his own series, because this is definitely one that Glenn's got to fend off. Glenn is the purple-crowned main man here. As you see, they was all getting their pictures there. I kind of missed it there for a second. Action Jackson behind us here. He's going to get him a new motor installed. We'll see what comes up next week. This is our first race for the Fall Series, IndyCar Series. So points will be added this week. Last week was preliminary. We're going to be coming into the 72 pitch LMP class coming up next on the orange. We're going to take a small break before we start that. Thank you guys for tuning in. If you made it this far, like, subscribe, share, let other people that are similarly interested in this hobby join in on the fun with you. Thank you guys for watching. God bless you, and we'll see you in the next one.